called what is the story splitting technique? See, we can split a story using many techniques. Okay. So normally normally how to split a story is you should split your story in a vertical way, not in a horizontal way. See, you are cutting a cake. Consider that your cake is having 3 layers. So when you cut a cake, you cut from vertical way, right? Not in a horizontal way. Why you are cutting in a vertical way? Because if you are slicing the cake in a vertical way, then all the layers will be available in a single piece.
Yes.
The same is applicable with your user stories. Whenever you are splitting, you should ensure that front end and back end means you should not have one story for front end and one story for back end. It should be like everything should be integrated. So that is known as vertical slicing of stories. And if someone is asking you what is the story splitting technique you use, you can tell we can use. Practically speaking, you are not using. You can tell that openly, because in the interview you should build up the trust to the interviewer. Everything you cannot speak like theoretical. So if someone is asking you what is the story splitting technique you use, you can tell yes, spider. They will tell like spider, SPIDR. Okay. So here S stands for spike, P stands for path, I stands for interfaces, D stands for data, R stands for rules. See how many acronyms we are having in our Agile. There are many, right? So you should be aware of this. See, if you are telling these terms and all, it is like it is actually an advanced concept, but I'm teaching you.
So actually, you told that we are actually not using that.
Yeah, you can tell them. You can tell like I have theoretical knowledge about this, but actually we are not using this splitting technique. We are using vertical slicing. That means we are ensuring that the story is splitted in a vertical way, and we are making sure that the story is small and testable. See, you're speaking with invest. You should speak with invest as well as this. Got it, right? See, you should be transparent enough. So I will tell you like what is the spider. Spider is nothing but S stands for spike, I told, right? So spike is nothing but, see, if you're not very clear about what you need to do a story, then you need to have a spike story first and do some research on what you need to do in a story. So that is known as spike story. So see here, this is a very important question. What is a spike? Spike is created when a user story or task cannot be estimated until the team has further research or investigation. So if some research or investigation needs to be done for a user story or a functionality, then you can have a spike story. Spike story is nothing but, normally for your normal stories, you will go up to 5 story points, I told, right? For a spike story, you can go only up to 1 or 2 story points you can give for research and analysis.
Okay.
So you can tell like, I will in the heading, in the title of the story itself, we will be including a word called spike dash, and you will be having the story on what you are going to do. Got it, right? So there are 2 types of spike. One is technical spike and one is functional spike.
Okay.
So you are able to understand from here itself, right? For example,
yes.
when the team wants to investigate about the technical options or the impact of new technologies, then we are marking it as a technical spike. Functional spike, when the development team evaluates the impact of new functionalities to the solution. For example, or the business level, some solution you need to derive. For example, consider that the business wants to understand, like, instead of having a drop down, whether can we have as a bullet in a different way. So how will it look? So a business need. So that you can mark as a functional spike. As I told, spike can be either 1 or 2 story points, or you can create a task in Jira and you can have it as a spike. It's in hours. If you are creating a task, you can give only in hours, right? You cannot give story points. Only in hours you can give. For hours of work means you can have a task created in Jira. So this is about spike on the whole. So that is what they are telling. You can split the story as spike, or S stands for spike. 1 minute. Okay. So what I'm telling is, now you are able to understand spike, right? Whether you are using spike in your project?
No.
No. Okay. Very good.
I have seen it split. Okay, we have seen it like if a story is big and they say that we need a separate story. We have seen that happen, but this I have not seen.
Okay. Fine. See, Priya, you mentioned that at 7:45 you need to leave. So just
Yeah.
I'm asking whether can we have up to 8 at least. See, I understand like you have work, but see, we are going like in a flow, and even like I don't want to like disturb that. Just I'm asking like up to 8, not more than that.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
No problem, right?
Yeah.
So now you are very clear about the spike. Next, S stands for spike. Next is path, right? So path. Suppose if a user can do something in multiple ways, that's a great area for splitting. For example, different path we can do. Then a research about that can be done. So you can write like however you want, or you can just note down this point. See, these are not in depth. They are not going to ask because this is like more technical things. Okay. So you can just mark spike and interfaces. You would have heard about interfaces, right? So interfaces means like the how we are connecting with system. So whether a browser or a hardware, how we are interface. And next is the data. Data is nothing but what is the type of data you are focusing. And next the rules. Rules means what rules can make your large user stories look smaller. That is known as rules. Okay. So it is relaxing support for the rules. That means sometimes, see, your intention should be how smaller we can split the stories. So for that, what rules we can follow. That's it.